Good afternoon. Welcome to our Travel and Tourism Virtual Open Day here at Uxbridge College. My name's Lucy and I'm hosting the session today, and then I shall hand over to my colleague Beth from the Travel and Tourism team, who's going to give you the information about the courses that we offer at the college. Just to say, if you haven't registered already for the open days, we have popped the registration link in the chat box, so do head and register for the sessions. That means we can keep in touch with you with college information and news, and obviously send you the links out to the sessions that we've got today. And we are taking questions and we'll pick those up at the end. So do pop those into the chat box as we go through if there's anything you want to ask, and we'll aim to answer all of those or as many as we can at the end of the session. So I'm now going to hand over to Beth to give you the information about travel and tourism. Beth.
Perfect, thanks Lucy. So as Lucy said, my name's Beth. I'm one of the course team leaders for Travel and Tourism. And today I'm just going to talk about a little bit about the Travel and Tourism course, who we are as a department, and basically what we offer, just so you can explore your options in the next year, basically. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk you through our further education courses. And in this sense, we're lucky enough to be able to offer a wide range of courses, in that we offer level 1, level 2, a level 3 diploma, and a level 3 extended diploma. So basically what that means is, depending on how you do in your GCSEs or any courses that you might be on, we have a range of courses available, offering at different entry level qualifications. So the level 1 might be suitable for some of you, and then the level 3 might be suited for others as well. The thing that we are really proud of in our department is that we do offer excellent progression opportunities for all our students. And what we generally find is students starting on level 1 will then probably progress to level 2 and level 3 and so on. And just in case you've noticed with the level 3 diploma, we do actually offer 2 different courses on our level 3 certificates. This is NCFE and City and Guilds. And the reason why we offer 2 of these courses is because our NCFE is typically for those students wanting to progress to university, and our City and Guilds programme is typically for those learners wanting to go into the workplace. So the good thing is we have 2 different types of courses. It's a different qualification, but still at level 3, giving you more options to choose from as well. And again, those entry requirements are slightly different, and that's something we could have a really good discussion with you about when you come to enroll in the summer. So in terms of where our students progress from these courses then, typically most of our students will go into employment, whether that is part-time employment, full-time employment, or apprenticeships. And they will also then progress typically to higher education. And that brings me on to our next slide. Now, in our Travel and Tourism department, we are really lucky to be able to offer higher education courses as well. So our HE courses and our provision basically is level 4 and level 5. And what that means is that we offer basically equivalent to year 1 and year 2 at university. So if you started with us on a level 1 programme, in theory, you could work all your way up to level 5 and then have a degree at the end of it, which is amazing. And once our students finish level 5, typically they do go on to do their final year at university, which is known as a top-up year. And again, it's a really good option for those students who perhaps don't want to move away from home, want to be at home with family, and are comfortable in the Uxbridge College environment. And over the years, the course has grown massively. And this year is our biggest cohort, and that's something that we're really proud of. So as I said, we do offer courses level 1 to 5. So in terms of our facilities and equipment that we offer, our main thing that we're really proud of is our mock cabin that we have designed. So I'm not sure if any of you have seen this on our Uxbridge College website yet, but our mock cabin is one of our facilities where we teach students in majority of the time. And as you can see from my picture on the left, these are our typical level 2 learners who are getting ready to do a role play down in the mock cabin. So the mock cabin is fitted with airline seats and general equipment such as belts, handouts, life jackets. And there we will do typical role plays with students so they can experience the typical work environment of an aircraft. Students really like it, they give us really good feedback, and again, it's just a different environment to working in that classroom environment, and it's bringing that real life work scenario to you. As well as that, the picture on the right, That was actually a Virgin Atlantic talk, which we had down in our cabin. We try and get as many talks down here from airlines as possible. They themselves absolutely love the mock cabin and find it really useful because they can use our equipment and show students kind of the real life scenarios of what to do there as well. I don't know if you can see on the pictures, but behind the door there actually goes into our travel agency. And we created this travel agency a couple of years ago because this was an empty space. And we decided to utilise this as much as possible to enhance students' kind of outlook on the work environment. So in the travel agency, we will typically do role plays where they are customer service focused or travel agency focused. And I don't know if you can see around the photos, but there are lots of brochures and leaflets there available as well. And kind of when we're in this environment, we will go down with the students, we will record these role plays, and we will get that student into that typical work-life scenario where they're entering a travel agency with a customer and basically selling them a holiday. And as well as that, we're also really proud of our IT equipment that we've purchased for our department to boost and improve the learning of our students. We do have a large bank of iPads and Chromebooks that we do lend out in lessons to our students. And not only does this help our learners research in their lessons where perhaps they might not be able to do it at home, it gives support for assignments, and we also play lots of educational games. Personal favourite of our students is Kahoo. I don't know if anybody knows it, but we always bring out the iPads most days for our students to do that and use that as well. So I just want to very briefly show you our team travel department. So our travel department is a very close department. We work well together, not only with ourselves, but also with our students. And we really pride ourselves on the rapport that we have with our learners. The biggest selling point of our department is that all of us that teach are experienced lecturers, but also we are from the travel and tourism industry and have a wide variety of different experiences and job roles between us. And what that means is those staff members that were previously cabin crew or taught cabin crew will then teach cabin crew units. So for instance, myself, I'm from the cruise background, I would then teach cruise units. And between us, we're proud to say we have 95 years experience of working in the travel and tourism industry. Not only does this mean we're able to provide educational and up-to-date knowledge to our students, but it also means that we can use all of our experiences and bring it kind of into a real life scenario when we are teaching our learners, because that's the main aim of it. So in terms of staff expertise, our backgrounds are varied, as I said previously, and this includes one of us being a guest relations manager previously, cruise advisors, resort representatives working in the UK and abroad, travel agency managers, cabin crew, business travel agents, airport handlers, and a visitor attraction manager. And if I'm honest, that's just a small range of roles that we have had. Many of us have had multiple or three different roles in the industry. And as well as being able to provide real life scenario and real life case studies, we're able to use our existing contacts in the industry to get up-to-date information from them, to bring them in to do guest talks to our students. And this is something that we really pride ourselves on. Because we're able to give you that staff expertise, we do try and do that as much as possible in our practical teaching approach and things that we have learned in our previous job roles. And that can then help us deliver fun but educational lessons, something that we always get our students involved with. And what we typically find is those learners who are interested in specific job roles in the future will go to those staff that have worked in those job roles previously for support and advice on CVs and everything like that. In terms of our enrichment that we offer, as a department, we are very, very, very committed to making sure our learners have the best experience possible. And that just isn't what happens in the classroom, that's everything outside the classroom. And that includes work experience. As a department, we are committed to getting at least 95% to 100% of our learners out every year in the workplace. And we're lucky to have such good relationships with those local employers, the hotels on the Bath Road, the airlines, to get our students out there and do that and represent Uxbridge College. So just some of the workers placements places that our students have gone to. We've got the Holiday Inn, Menzies, Radisson Blu, the Park Plaza, Premier Inn. It was obviously previously Thomas Cook, Moxie Hotels, TUI, British Airways, Virgin, Heathrow, and many, many, many more. If I'm honest, I couldn't fit it all on one slide. And even though work experience can be quite daunting, I'm not sure if any of you have done this at school, it does give our learners amazing experience to actually see what it's like to work in the industry. And not only that, but it proves their work in, employability skills. And what we found previously is that our students have done so well that they've been offered work experience repeatedly the year after, or they've actually been offered part-time or full-time roles, which is amazing. And as you can see from the pictures, we've had students working in immigration, reception at hotels, we've had students in events, and the lucky students sometimes get to go front of the cockpit and put the pilot's hat on, which most of them absolutely want to do. And as well as our enrichment, the thing that we are really proud of in our department that we've done over the last couple of years is our Travel and Tourism Employer Fair. And this is something we hold each year. And what we do is we get our level 1 or our level 2 learners to work with employers to get them set up at our venue at the college. And the employers, usually around 15, 16 different employers, will come to the college and talk to our travel and tourism students only about jobs, about CVs, and basically about how to succeed in the travel and tourism industry. And I just want to point out to you the picture in the middle here and just on the right. Now, these two learners actually studied with us previously 2 years ago. And last year, they actually came back to our employers fair as employers. And it was such an amazing highlight to see our students come back and show our new students that they can actually get into this industry. We hold this once a year. We will invite all our levels from levels 1 to 5. And the really good thing about the fair is that not only do they offer work placements to some learners as well, but we've had students be successful and get part-time jobs from that as well. And as I said, the brands can be TUI, British Airways, Qantas, and many different types of brands in the industry. And another enrichment, which we are, again, really proud of and try to do as much as we can each year, is provide guest talks to our students. And as I said, because we're able to have those such close links with the industry, we're able to get our colleagues, our ex-colleagues, our friends in and talk to our students about what it's like to work for these companies. So I've just pulled together some brands that we actually had guest talks for over the last year, 18 months. And this is Trek America, Airbnb, the St. Lucian Tourist Board, Greenpeace, so we have a charity there, Cruise and Maritime Cruises, British Airways, Qantas, and TUI. So we have massive, massive travel and tourism brands here coming in and wanting to speak to our travel and tourism students. And usually after this, we will always get feedback from our learners, and they say it's so beneficial to actually have that one-to-one guest talk from these brands to know more about the industry as well. Another enrichment focus that we're really proud of is our volunteering. Now, not only does the college really encourage all students to volunteer, but we try and have a particularly strong focus on this in our department. We'll try and get our students encouraged and engaged in open days, to help shop at Tesco for kind of vulnerable or people that can't perhaps. And we'll get students to go to care homes and do some work there, as well as going to the Uxbridge Town Centre and doing some help there. Not only as well do our students get volunteering hours and awards for this, but again, it's just making them more employable. And this is something that's really, really important in the travel and tourism industry, because we need to have those employability skills. So this is something we will always push to our students to try and do. And finally, the most important and kind of thing that students love is our trips. So we're really lucky enough to be able to organise trips on all our levels, and this varies depending on the different types of levels. So as you can see here, level 1 will consist of 2-day trips, whereas level 5 would consist of an overseas residential. So just an overview of some of the trips that we've done previously. In terms of the UK, we've been to Bath, Bournemouth and Scotland, and these were overnight as well. In terms of our overseas trip for level 3, we have obviously been to the hot destinations. So we've got Spain, Malta, Croatia, Italy and Tenerife on there. And for our overseas residentials for level 4 and level 5, we have been to Iceland, USA, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Austria and Spain. And to be honest, whenever we speak to our students, it's always the highlight. Not only can they bond with the members of their group and their classmates, but they get to learn more. They get to perhaps go to countries that they've not been before. And it just improves their overall knowledge of the travel and tourism industry and a range of these destinations. Unfortunately, our cohort this year may not be able to go on all of them, but this is something that we're really kind of committed to ensuring each year. So depending on what level you're on, depends on the trip available, and where possible, we'll try to get everybody out on their residential or their day trips. And lastly, I just want to talk about student success, because whilst we are here to teach students and you to get into the travel and tourism industry, the main aim is for you to go to higher education or go into the workplace and get that job role that you're after. So just some careers which our students have gone into, and I just want to stress that I did have to condense this so much. Okay, there's so many job roles and careers that our students have gone into. But just a kind of overview in terms of cabin crew, we've got main airlines here that our students have progressed to: Virgin, EasyJet, British Airways, Thomas Cook. We have had students that have worked abroad for TUI and Camp America. Again, we have airport focused roles at Heathrow, Lufthansa, Menzies and Emirates. We have had students working for travel agents such as TUI and Alpine Elements. And again, we have roles in hotels and visitor attractions. And as I said, this is what our aim here is to do. Our aim is to make you employable, to then go and get that chosen career that you want in the travel and tourism industry. And it's not just one area, it's not just cabin crew, it's not just hotels. We try and hit all kind of sectors within the industry to make you as employable as possible. And finally, I just want to end with a personal success story, which was one of my students from last year. And this is one of our students called Daisy. Now, Daisy actually attended the Employers Fair that we held 2 years ago. And from that Employers Fair, she was able to obtain a part-time job when she met TUI and spoke to TUI. They were so wowed by her personality and her approach that they offered her a part-time job. So she worked part-time alongside her studies on level 3. She finished her level 3 last year, and for the last year has worked full-time as a TUI travel agent. And since then, she has gone on residential, she has met sales targets, and I believe the last trip she went to was Disneyland in Paris. And it just shows that our students are able to go out there, get those jobs. And I have spoken to Daisy recently, and she has been fortunate enough to secure and keep her job despite COVID, which is amazing. And we're really, really, really proud of her. And she's just one example of a student out of so many that we just want to show to our students that it actually can happen for you. So that's our travel and tourism department. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to hand over to Lucy and answer those for you.
Thank you very much, Beth. Really informative, as usual, always good. As I say, on most of the curriculum sessions, it's always good to see what our students have done and where they go on to. No questions in the chat at the moment, but just we'll hang fire just in case there is anybody who wants to add something in. But just also to say, I think the point that you made about Daisy having her job still, obviously it's difficult times, but one of the things I think is important to note are the skills that students get on your course is customer service, event planning. There's lots of other skills, transferable skills as well, that can help even if they decide that the travel industry isn't necessarily where they go to straight after.
Yeah, definitely. And we've had students go into business roles or events roles. The good thing is with travel and tourism is that all the skills that you learn, as Lucy said, are transferable. Customer service, teamwork, understanding how businesses work. This can be moved into so many other different sectors. So as Lucy said, it's all transferable. And this is why we think our students succeed so well, because these skills are skills that are needed across many different careers, basically.
Thank you. A couple of questions have come in.
Yep.
We haven't got long, so hopefully we'll get them all answered. If somebody wants to take this course, if they want to be a pilot, is this a good course to take?
So in terms of piloting, we don't actually offer units for pilots. We do have this question quite a lot. To be a pilot, you would need to go to university. So Kingston University is the one that we recommend students to do for that. And you would need a grade B or above in maths to be a pilot. So whilst we would help you kind of get that experience about aviation and cabin crew, I would say that beyond this, you would then need to explore that perhaps at higher education level.
And then another question, Beth, can a level 3 course be studied with GCSE, or is it a City and Guilds level 2 first before the level 3 course?
It all depends on your entry grades. We have some students that are doing level 3 that are resitting perhaps a GCSE in English or maths. If you perhaps haven't quite got the GCSEs on enrolment, we would then put you onto the level 2 course, where you could obviously try and obtain those GCSEs, and then we would progress you the next year. So it all kind of really depends on those qualifications that you've got on enrolment, and we can have that discussion with you.
Thank you. And I've got time probably for another quick two. Any specific requirements for an air hostess which may be limiting, things like height, etc.?
So height is a limiting factor, and this is something that we do go over all our students. I actually myself haven't worked in the cabin crew sector, so I don't want to say an exact height. However, I do believe 5'5" or 5'4" it can't be lower than that. So I think that is the kind of point where you need to be at that height or higher. But other than that, I don't think there is. I think cabin crew are becoming really open and more diverse as the years go on.
Thank you. And last question, how many hours of work experience does a student have to complete in a level 3 course?
So it all depends. So on our NCFE course, last year we actually did a 5-week work placement as part of the SIP placements for our students. However, usually we will do a 1-week work placement per year.
Thank you. We are at the end of our time. Thank you, Beth, for taking time to go through those course information and all of the enrichment as well. Just as we wrap up, just to say, if you have missed our welcome session today, then we will be putting that online. So do check our open day pages on the website, and we'll pop that up in the next couple of days. And obviously the curriculum session today, you'll be able to get a link to that we'll send out to you. We are accepting applications now. Applications are open. So if you are ready to apply, head to the website and you can do that straight away. And we hope you've enjoyed the session. So thank you very much. Do check the open day pages for anything else that you might be interested in. And thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Lovely.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Lucy.